Oh my goodness, I just made a video that was amazing, and when I went to upload it so you guys could watch it, I realized that I only just took a picture. I hate it when that happens. I need to slide it over to video because the picture just was not what it was meant to be. So today I'm making a video about miscarriages and infertility, and it's a level 1 video, so level 1 in postpartum depression. And then Elise and I will make the next video, and we'll have a guest speaker, interview somebody on that one, and then make a level 3 video. So we'll also interview somebody on that one, I'm hoping. And I love reaching out to you mamas, and I love visiting about things that will help you. I don't have young ones anymore, and I'm beyond miscarriages and infertility, and I've been able to reflect and from my experience, and then listen to other women that are in the trenches right now and just kind of put together some helpful things. But I'm really hoping that you ladies will comment on the bottom of this video and add in your experiences of the do's and don'ts. So today I'll talk about the level 1 miscarriage and level 1 postpartum depression. And miscarriage is kind of tricky because society kind of teaches us. Well, I literally remember mom saying, don't share with people that you're pregnant until you're about 3 or 4 months along, because most of the miscarriages happen at about 3 or 4 months along. There's a big hormone change right there, and sometimes it causes you to miscarry. But I think that's kind of crazy. I mean, I did that my whole life, but when I found out I was pregnant, I wanted to just shout it to the whole world. And I wanted everybody to just join in with me and just celebrate. And I was so excited that it was really hard to keep that down. And then when you do miscarry, which I have twice, you don't want to go call your friend up and say, I was pregnant, now I'm not, and I need you. Except that's really a good idea, even if you haven't told your friend that you was pregnant, to call them up and get support when you're miscarrying. But I never did, because I never dared, because I didn't tell anybody I was pregnant. So it was kind of tough. It just sets yourself up for dealing with it alone, which it's a big deal. So why would you want to deal with that alone? And I've heard people try to downplay miscarriages emotionally and physically. I'm here to tell you, ladies, I don't know about your experiences, but my 2 miscarriages were as painful as a birth. Now, I know that sounds so weird, but it's so much pain, and I had no idea. That first time I miscarried, I'm like, what in the heck? Because I kind of had looked at it like, oh, it'd be like a period. Not for me, it wasn't. It was very hard physically and very emotional. I was so emotional that I couldn't. It's taken me a long time to wrap around what I was feeling and what I could have done to make it easier on me. So I'm not in the childbearing years, but it's given me time to reflect on my experience and maybe pass on some encouragement to you ladies that are either in the process or have already had a miscarriage, or somebody that has. I hope this video helps somebody. The only reason I make videos, Elise and I, is because we really bad want to reach out to other women that are in any stage of their life, that we want to encourage you guys to keep going and keep doing tough things, and be willing to share it with other people, because sharing it with other people kind of takes the shame of it off, and it helps people around you too. I remember the first time somebody talked about the pain in a miscarriage after I had a miscarriage, and I'm like, thank you, I didn't know, and now I know, and I never hear anybody talk about it. Yeah, it's not being a wimp to talk about it. And then the emotional part of it, like, what did I do wrong? Why was my body not functioning right? Did I exercise too much? Did I eat the wrong things? What? You know, you have a lot of questions and you feel a lot of guilt and you feel a lot of shame if you can't talk about it. And guilt is part of it. There's the healing process. There's 5 stages of grief. And by the way, you do grief. You do have grief when you miscarry. And some people walk through it in a short amount of time. Some people take years. There's no time limit. You can't do that to yourself, because then you're just going to be frustrated with yourself if you think it should take a certain amount of time. Emotions heal at different rates and different times, and you can't do that to yourself or anybody around you. So I remember, the different comments that I got with the second miscarriage. I told people what I was going through, and people around me are just kind and loving, and they mean well, and I've got an amazing support group. But there are some things that we could say and not say that would help, and I'm sure I'm guilty for the things that don't really help, because sometimes when you want so bad to help somebody, you say awkward things. I do that so bad. Anyway, some of the things that are not helpful is maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe there was something wrong with the baby. Maybe there was something wrong with your body. Maybe you need a break. Maybe God didn't want you to have that baby. And those things all could be true. Could be. But they're not helpful. So a helpful thing would just come from heart and say, I'm so sorry. And I'm here for you. I would love to take you to lunch. I would love to bring you lunch. One time my sister, she's such a doll, Maria, after a miscarriage, she called me and she says, sis, I'm so sorry. You know what? I'd love to come see you. What can I bring to you? And I was kind of in my mind going, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, because it's a miscarriage and it just isn't, not a big deal. And it really was. And she knew it. Obviously, she'd been through it too, or she was just wise. Anyway, she says, do you still love pecan pie and ice cream, vanilla ice cream? I'm like, yeah. And she says, well, you worked hard. You deserve that. I'm going to bring it right over to you. She brought it with the plates and forks, and had pie and ice cream with me on my bed. It saved my life. It seems really strange, really odd, but it was amazing. It was just what my heart needed. It was just what I needed. And it could have come off as really awkward and weird, but it was perfect for me. And she knew it. It was so neat. Obviously, she had been through something similar. Anyway, go ahead and let yourself mourn, even if it's like years later. Go ahead and let yourself do and be in whatever stage of grief that you need to be in. And let people around you just be, don't be in a rush to push them through the different stages. So some of those things that don't help, I talked about, and some of the things that would help would just be in there for them and coming from heart, and not trying to control how much they cry or when they cry or what stage they're in. If any of these videos help, I am so happy. I love it. I love the hard work you guys are doing. It's hard being a mommy. It's hard at every stage. And I just want to encourage you guys. You're doing great things, and sometimes it's tough things. And comment at the bottom of this video so I know I learn more, and I'd love to know what topics we really need to talk about. That is really helpful.